3 things that you need to know about the ATM business and one thing that no one tells you about in the ATM business. In this business, you want to go ahead and shake some hands. Facebook groups are the best place to network with people. A lot of people get into this industry thinking that they're going to make a lot of money. Save your money because you never know when you need it. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Don't Get Nailed podcast, the podcast that teaches you how not to get nailed by life, or in other words, not get screwed by life. I'm your host, Chris Mo. I'm a high-ticket salesman here in the Los Angeles area. I've done over $5 million in construction sales, own over 50 ATMs, and I just like talking about a bunch of cool business stuff. I make these videos because I'm on the pursuit towards financial abundance, time freedom, and joy, aka I'm trying to make a lot of money with y'all. I want to do whatever I want, whenever I want, with whoever I want, while being joyful. So I'm documenting my journey just so that way you guys can follow along, get some advice, and you guys can learn from my mistakes and basically save some time. As some of you may or may not know, I've been in the ATM business for over 4 years now. I started out with just 4 ATMs. Fast forward today, I manage over 50 ATMs, which honestly, I don't even know how it happened. But it did happen. I still remember the day that I just was thinking about, hey, I just want 10 ATMs, and I thought I was going to be making it, right? I honestly don't know how 4 years later I ended up, I do know how I got 50 ATMs, but it's still insane to me that I pretty much manage over 50 ATMs, and I still look back to this day where like, damn, like I really did that. Like I started off with 4 ATMs, I invested so much money, and I was like, is this even the right move? And some of you guys who are following me, maybe just following me for some ATM advice, and it's been a long time since I made a video about ATMs, and I was gonna figure out that, hey, I better off making a video for you guys about the ATM journey, how you guys can one day get to 50 ATMs as well, because honestly, it's really not that hard. So in today's video, quickly, I want to go ahead and share with you guys 3 things that you need to know about the ATM business and one thing that no one tells you about in the ATM business, which can help you scale tremendously. And really, that's how I made that jump from like, say, 10 ATMs to over 50 ATMs. So that way you guys can scale, you guys can get some passive income, whatever it is that you guys want. But really, I want to give you guys the truth about running an ATM business, because some of you guys may be wanting to really get started or thinking about buying a machine, or maybe have a location, and I'm like, oh, what should I do right now, right? Well, guys, let's go ahead and get started with the first thing, which is the more hands you shake, the more money you make, networking. In this business, you want to go ahead and shake some hands, meaning you want to meet a lot of people in the ATM business space, because honestly, coming into the space, I didn't know anything about the ATM business. I thought that it was very, very simple, where you just buy a machine, you put it into a location, and you're done. You forget about it, and you're just collecting money. Easy, right? That's how everybody sells the dream of, like, own a couple machines, you just get money and you're done, right? It's so far from the truth of just that. It is that simple, but there's so much more to it that people forget a bunch of the headaches that come. This is not passive income, it's an active business that you need to go ahead and maintain. Considering that, there's going to be times where the machine breaks down and you need to fix it. If you are just starting in the business or you don't know anything about the business, you better know some people that know how to fix the machines, because not everyone on YouTube teaches you how to fix a bunch of these error codes. I didn't know a bunch of these error codes. Even today, there's some issues that I run into a machine and I don't even know how to fix it. Like right now, I have a machine in one of my places, which is in a tattoo shop, that is breaking down. I fixed the card reader, I fixed the CDU, I fixed so many things about it, and I'm like, what the hell is going on with it? And that's one of the things you have to learn, is troubleshooting. And one of the best ways you can avoid troubleshooting and burning through a lot of your money is by learning from somebody else's mistakes. So networking. One of the key things that I tell you guys, and these are free little nuggets that you guys can possibly have and come into your journey, is that there's a free Facebook place of people who own ATMs. So Facebook groups are the best place to network with people. I'm like hands down all into so many different Facebook groups, it's ridiculous. But there's an ATM business group that I would suggest you guys go ahead and start. There's like a couple. There's ATM Familia, ATM Business Startups, and I think there might be one more. Pretty much everyone in every one of those groups are the same one, so you'll find the exact same people. You guys can find me there, look me up. If I'm in one of those groups, it's probably a good group. I'm active on there as much as I possibly can be. I have my own little personal group in the LA area of ATM owners. So that's how intense I got with the networking, where like, hey, not only am I in this Facebook group, I have this messenger group of just SoCal ATMs, and we help each other out so much, where this is why you need a network. Because if somebody like can't fill a machine, or if somebody's machine is broken, or you need an extra part, you want to be associated with these people. So networking is a really big thing. You guys can always reach out to me. I'm more active on Instagram, so you guys can go ahead and follow me on Instagram at ChrisMoSpeaks, and go ahead and add me, DM me any questions that you guys may have. I'll reply to you as soon as I possibly can. I give free ATM advice. I really don't care, because like, dude, there's enough money in the world for all of us to make money. So network. More hands you shake, the more money you make. Which leads me to point number 2, which is successful people need help. Mentors, relationships. You guys need a mentor. If you're just getting started in the industry, there's people who have been doing this for years. The person that has taken me as a mentee, right? He's been doing this for almost 10 years now. He owns over 150 machines. He has like a couple employees. He has an office. Dude, this guy knows everything about the ATMs business. I'm not everything. Nobody knows everything, but he knows a good amount. And honestly, I wouldn't be in the place that I am without him. He has taught me so much. Funny enough, his name is Chris as well. But either way, like, there's people out there that need relationships. There's people out there that are like 5-10 years ahead of the game that need someone like you, someone like me, where like, hey, I'm barely starting, I have the time, I have the energy, I have some capital that I can go ahead and join forces with you and pretty much scale. And that's how I went ahead and I built my freaking ATM business from like 4 to 50 ATMs. It's really through that mentorship. Like, I went ahead and I started like grinding with this guy who would teach me about the ATM business. Anytime this guy needed something, I was there. I fixed it. I helped him out, gave us pretty much my whole entire help without asking for something, right? And then I just helped them enough where I earned his trust. And that's how you build a relationship with a mentor, is just help, give. And then eventually they'll give back. So I built that relationship with him, and he was all like, hey, you know what? I need someone to take care of these ATMs in this area. Can you handle it? And I'm all like, yes. So that's how I pretty much gained another deal, by like pretty much just being in the right position and showing him that I'm willing to work, and showing him that I'm willing to learn, and then that I'm the right person for the job. So I got this really great deal where I pretty much took over his ATMs. He trusts me enough where I voted with his money. And that's one of the key things that I'm going to talk to you later, is like, hey, you need money. But this brings me down to point number 3, which is seller finance. So seller finance is how I got into the ATM space. Listen up, because you guys can do the exact same thing. In fact, I think I might be doing a deal with somebody that I might be able to convince to give me a seller finance deal on these new ATMs. I don't know yet, but if I do, I'll be getting like 2-3 more locations, and one of them is a unicorn, I would say. Either way, if you guys haven't watched my video of how I got started into the ATM business, I went ahead and bought a route off of somebody. This is how you can get into the business yourself. This is how you can get into any business. You can just buy it off of somebody else. The biggest constraint when doing that is the fact that you need capital. And unfortunately for me, I didn't have that capital. For those of you that didn't watch the video, basically how I got started is I found this business from Biz by Sell. I went ahead and contacted a bunch of businesses. This guy replied to me. It was around 2020. And then I went out and I looked at it like real estate, where like, hey, it's a good location, looks like a good business. What much more can it be? And at that point, I'm like, you know what? I'm either going to lose 20 grand or I'm going to make 20 grand. And fortunately for me, I asked my mom for some money, and she gave me some money, and then I had some money, and I put that in together, but it still wasn't enough to buy the entire route, because the entire route that I was buying was over like $30,000. And then I basically met this guy, and you know, when you meet someone, you don't know whether to trust them or not. So I basically told him like, hey, I want to buy the route, but I don't have enough money. What can we do? And then luckily for me, I met a really nice guy, and he was great. And then he suggested we seller finance, where I literally put $10,000 down, and I was going to pay him in less than a year at 0% interest for a part of the route. And then later on, I was going to take the rest of the route, which is where I'm at today, where I'm pretty much close to paying off the entire route. There's only like 2 more machines left. But throughout that, I pretty much like learned what it means to seller finance. You see, a lot of people think that, hey, I got to go get a loan from somebody else, or I got to go get a loan from a bank, or I need to be really freaking rich. Like, no, you can do what's called seller financing, meaning if there's opportunity out there, especially for businesses, people are willing to go ahead and finance them themselves if everything is paid off and there's no debt on the business itself. So there's deals out there where people can go ahead and say, hey, I'm tired of running this ATM business. Do you want to buy it off of me? I don't have the money. Well, sometimes all you got to do is just find the right person who's willing and is in the right position, or like in just like a unique situation where like, hey, I don't want to be doing this no more. Do you want to take this over? Do you want to buy this thing off of me? And then you can go ahead and figure out a way to seller finance. And if you guys need documents on like paperwork and things like that, I think I have my own on how I structured it. So it's really, really, really simple. It just comes down to the trust factor. If you guys want to hear a video about that, like, let me know. But either way, like, I just connected with somebody else where I was doing my daily route, and he has like 2 more machines in like another restaurant in LA and like 2 other locations, and one of them is a unicorn. He was trying to sell me an ATM. And then I'm like, hey, like, if you don't want to do that business anymore because he has a whole nother business, like, would you ever be interested in selling that business? And he was all like, like, I never thought about it, like, maybe, like, but I got his contact information, and I'm going to let it marinate for a couple months, and I'll keep you guys updated on how that goes. Right now, I'm tight on cash, so, like, I don't think I can purchase it anyways right now, but coming into the new year, around February, I might bring it up to him. I see him pretty much every week, so I'm trying to be friends with him as well. Again, these are like networking skills that you need to build with other people, because a lot of business people, a lot of successful people, they want to see other people succeed. So next year around February, I do plan on reaching out to him and be like, hey, do you plan on selling your route, or do you want to sell your route? Let's work out a deal. Like, do you really want to take the time to like keep on going over there and filling those machines up? And hopefully he's tired of it, and hopefully he wants to get out of the business and just make some money, you know? One man's treasure is another man's gold. So the last and final thing, guys, that I want to go ahead and talk to you guys about is to save your money. The ATM business is a capital intense game. A lot of people get into this industry thinking that they're going to make a lot of money. You're not going to make a lot of money with just one machine. I kid you not. And I hear so many sad stories and so many horror stories about people being sold the dream where like, hey, you buy a machine, you get a location, you're going to make $1,000 a month. Dude, it doesn't work that way. No, you are going to get unicorns, right? I call them unicorns. In the ATM business, how it works is exactly that, where you get a machine, you put your money into it, you find the location, and based on location and how much traffic that does, it's going to produce you some money in simple terms. Wait, a good location, this means that a good location is good enough to keep, is going to range anywhere from $100 to like say $250 a month. This is a good location. It's going to take you $5,000 to get started. About $2,000 for the machine, $2,000 to fill it up, and $1,000 for like all these little things. $5,000 into a machine, and then you make $250. Maybe, right? That's not always the case, guys. There's going to be times where you get a location and then that ATM barely makes you $30 a month. And then think about it. How long is it going to take you to recoup those $5,000 that you initially started with? It's going to take you a long time. That would be considered a bad locations. And there is a lot of bad locations out there where you have to just pretty much gamble on things. Where like, hey, I'm going to test it here for 3 months, and if it doesn't pick up after 3 months, I'm going to get that the ATM and put it somewhere else. That's just the name of the game. So don't think that you're going to get one location, you're going to do really well. In fact, there is rarely ever, there's going to be a time where you do get a unicorn. I have a couple unicorns that I've got like out of nowhere. I don't know how, but one of my best unicorns is in a tattoo shop, and that one does about anywhere from like $600 to even $1,000 in a month, depending on the time of the year that it is. But that's a unicorn. So you can find those unicorns, but they're not rare. They're very rare. So say for example, I tell people if you want a unicorn, probably it takes about 10 locations for you to find one unicorn. Or maybe you get lucky and it's on your 3rd one. Who knows? Like, you never know. But unicorns don't come very often. Sometimes they're already taken. That's why even buying routes and with unicorns is also a good thing. So it all depends on how you want to maneuver in the business. Either way, guys, you need to save your money because this game is a capital intense game. It's not for everyone. I tell people, do not get into the business if you don't have a way to make income. Meaning, if you're not making a lot of money, this is not going to be your way out towards like financial success. Like, no, I only invest into this business because for me, it takes care of my bills and it allows me to do other things in business. So save your money because you never know when you need it. The only way I was able to scale from 4 ATMs to 50 ATMs is because of my my income, right? Where I do sales and I make a lot of money there, and I get all that money and I put it into chunks over here. If it wasn't for me saving a lot of the money that I made off of my commission checks, I wasn't gonna be able to scale to my ATMs. Because imagine my unicorn, that unicorn in a weekend, it goes through like freaking 7 grand in a weekend. So imagine if you're working a 9 to 5 job and you barely can save like $1,000 or even $5,000. If you got a unicorn and you can't even service that unicorn is gonna go away. Like someone else is gonna have to take over that unicorn. And there's other things that you can do. Like I'll teach you guys that later, where you guys can go ahead and find the unicorn, sell it off, make 2-3 times as much profit. But either way, guys, you guys need to save your money, and scaling to 50 ATMs, like you're gonna need a bunch of money. It's at least $2,000 per machine. Do the math. Like that's a lot of money. That's why a lot of my money is just tied up into the ATMs, but I prefer it because putting into the machines is so much better than saving it in a savings account. The interest that I would get is nothing compared to what I'm getting in the ATM business. It is a little bit more risky, and I'll talk about that in another video, but nonetheless, you guys want to save your money. When you get your first location, your 5 locations, your 10 locations, save your money. Don't just think like, hey, I made $1,000 or I made $2,000, like I'm gonna go spend it all. Like no, save your money, dude. That's why I separate all my bank accounts and have a bank account just specifically for the profits of my ATMs. And every single time I'm taking one over, boom, that's another 2 grand. Boom, that's another 4 grand. Like I just got 2 more locations and I needed $4,000. I needed $4,500 to take over those locations. If I wasn't saving my money, I wasn't gonna be able to service those machines. So you need to save your money in the beginning. So guys, hopefully that was very helpful to you guys. Let me know if you guys have any questions whatsoever. You guys can hit me up in my DMs. My DMs are always open. Don't be shy. Don't be scared. Like let me know. I'm here to help. I really want you guys to succeed. I really want you guys to do whatever it is that you guys want to do in life. Like it's really all possible. So this was a quick solo video because I know a lot of people have been asking me for like ATM business advice, or just, you know, even for myself. Like it's cool to like look back, like say, dude, fucking 2020 you were like at 4 machines and now you're at 50. Like I still cannot believe it. I really cannot believe how the hell I have those machines. I remember I was pulling up the app and I would see just like 4 machines and I'm like, oh, this is easy, I can manage this. Dude, now I open up my app and I use Switch Commerce, the processor, and I have to scroll and scroll and scroll. And now I know why the guy that runs the 150 machines, why he does his process completely different. Because, dude, if you are scaling at 150 machines, even the machines that I have, dude, you need a whole entire system to like run this game. And I'm like, what the hell? Like if I would have like started this thing on my own and come up with the systems myself, like yeah, I could have done it. But you know how much time I am saving from learning from somebody else? Like it's ridiculous. And I really want you guys to save a lot of that time. And that's why I make a lot of these videos, so you guys can save on time. So if you guys have been thinking about joining and getting into the business, or thinking about like selling a route, thinking about like just passive income whatsoever, this is a great industry. I do recommend it sometimes depending on your financial situation, but there are way better ways to make money. I'm already in the business and it kind of runs by itself, so I'm kind of like, cool. I don't know whether I'll be in the business forever. Right now it pays the bills and I love it because it's very easy as long as you have capital to maintain them and service them and keep on growing. But nonetheless, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick solo podcast about the ATM business space. You guys want more videos about ATMs? Let me know what kind of questions, comments, concerns you guys have. I'll start making more videos, like I said, consistently. But yeah, have a good one.